My gorgeous peeps, this is a slightly different one because I am filming Phil. Wait, Phil. Phil is about to embark on a new adventure, and that is kind of introducing people to beer on tap craft. But I'm going to let him tell you all about it. But at the moment, we're just sitting down, getting ready to have some fish and chips, and then I'm going to film him. Smile.
So we're starting on the water.
Okay, yeah, we're starting on the water because we're going to be moving on to beer really quickly. So when we come back, it will be when we collect one of the other punters who's going on this. This is the trial run, okay? So let's see how he gets on. See you in a minute. Go.
Okay, I wanted to start outside the station hotel because this is an example of a pub which it used to be very common in Brighton and Hove, but a lot of them now are changing. This is a very mixed sex pub. You get lots of men, lots of women. There's lots of food in there. There are lots of ales, but they're a very conservative selection because this is actually a pub company owned pub. So that's one of the reasons I think they're going to survive. And places like this will still be around, but they'll be fewer in number.
Okay. Cool.
That's my belief.
So let's head. So where are we heading first? So we're heading.
We go to the watchmaker.
So from our beginning point, how far do I have to walk to my first pub?
It's just the other side of Wolfie's, darling.
Okay. Yeah.
Said this will be the first time I've actually got Sharita in.
No, it's not.
No, you've come in.
I have been in before.
You've come in and collected her, but you've never.
Yes. Yeah.
Also on the actual tour, I am going to be pre-selecting and paying for the beers. Today, given there's only 3 of us, it's going to be a case of, oh, if you don't mind, I will order for you and I, but Sharita doesn't like many beers, so I'm going to try and get something that she'll drink.
So we need someone, so you're trying to convert Sharita to...
Not particularly, no, I'm just trying to get her something that she'll...
So this is our first pub. Oh, this is quite nice, Phil. So is this one? Oh, is this the list?
This is today's list. What have we got here? I'm not sure. Salsa. I'm not sure what kind of beer that is actually. I was looking for one. There's wine as well. But salsa might.
Oh, this is quite nice. Are these the hops that are up?
Yeah. I'm going to go for a couple of hearts of Torre.
Okay, go on. I want to record that. So what are you on? Sorry.
I'm on the juicy as well. It's what Phil suggested I sample. So I think it's not too shabby. I mean, I'm not one into beer that's too hoppy or too floral. And this one is just that kind of subtle mix. There's a good sort of dose of hops just as you take a bite, and then it just sort of like blends and melts.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
This is a good session beer.
It was much better than that one. That one there. That is just
Witch's Brew.
That is just too hoppy for me.
That is, yeah. I mean, there's not much left of it.
Yeah, that is very hoppy.
But
yeah.
I mean, I like this beer. I mean, Tiny Rebel are one of the kind of most highly rated craft beer breweries. It's taken me a long time to actually get into their beers. But this one, it actually is genuinely juicy, and it's a term that's used a lot.
Juicy!
Thank you. This is a reference to dodgy 80s
song.
I was just thinking juicy in the sky with diamonds.
Oh, juicy! But how you can tell the time, AM, EM. It's pretty cool.
There's also a bit further over, there's a sign that says Sussex Room, and a lot of my beer selfies are taken under that sign. They're very carefully positioned with his camera, so it says sex room.
Is that thing there that pubs? Are they actually all of the pubs? Has someone done?
I doubt it's all of them.
But it's quite a few of them.
It's a selection.
It is a selection now.
I think the watchmakers is on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Something else I wanted to show.
Because the next pub we go to, obviously, they're going to have a totally different line.
They will have a totally different line. Yeah.
Okay.
But the watchmakers.
I would laugh if they had juicy in there.
I don't think. Well, they didn't when I went in a couple of weeks ago. But you never know.
You never know. And therein lies the point: is because it's so fairly arbitrary as to what's going to be it. I mean, it is almost like going around someone's front room and seeing what they've got in there. Well, in this case, their cellar.
And
or their back room.
Okay, gotcha. All right, when we moving on? When you finish up?
Hurry up! Come on, Phil.
Come on, drink up. Let's get going.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah,
the Albion Raw.
I think it's going to be a really popular event.
I think it will.
Going what, to the urchin?
The urchin.
Okay. Alrighty, so where do we enter? Right here? Okay, go on in.
It's going to be on, so I'll have a look.
Right.
So what we got?
Sharita.
Yes.
One of the lagers. Do a Heineken.
Well, no, I want to try something proper.
You might appreciate Sam Adams.
No.
Oh, I used to drink that all the time when we had the restaurant. What's that? Pineapple sour.
Coffee
What's
and
that?
ice cream ale.
Is that one?
That might be a good idea.
Coffee and ice cream.
Now you're getting excited.
Anybody want to try?
So which one's that? Is that the coffee?
That's the coffee and ice cream one.
I can taste the coffee in it.
They had it was a cider one the other day. Was it something sour? Yeah, that was fabulous. Really.
Can I try the pineapple one, please?
Yeah, tasty. Yeah, I want to try. Which one's all right?
Yeah, let's just see. Thank you.
Really light and quite refreshing.
That I could drink. That's going to be the one for me. It tastes like a wheat beer.
I like coffee, I like ice cream, I like beer, but not all at the same time. Let's try the pineapple one.
Okay.
Pineapple one's nice. I like that one.
Can I have a taste of the rose? Sorry, no, the
Oh, that's too sweet for me.
See, yeah, too sweet. Yeah, see, then it's not hoppy,
I'm going to
so I
chicken
like
out
it.
and just have a Sam Adams with it.
So you're going to go Sam Adams?
Yeah, the chicken. I have it all the time in the kitchen.
Yeah, I want a half. Just a half of that, please.
Ruby, is it?
yeah, it's that's not a Flanders red, is it?
Cool, there's a touch of kirsch about that.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's
I'm going to have
mine.
half of the affogato, I think.
You like having a pint of cider?
Just half, I'll go from there. I'll tell you what, together you could have a nice fruit salad.
Yeah, look, a little cocktail.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, now they call mixing your drinks. Cheers. Oh, the coffee took over. Okay, go on. So let's see if we can find somewhere to sit. Let's see what's out this way. So, you want to tell us, why did you pick this pub?
Well, it was suggested to me by Rob Parker, who does the Brighton beer tours.
And which pub are we at?
It's the Urchin.
And is this the same Urchin you thought we were coming to, or is
It's
it
the
different?
same place. I just knew it under the name of the old name of Belfast.
Oh, okay.
Which was a place to avoid once upon a time. Bless you.
Excuse me. So this has had a bit of a makeover here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it now calls itself online, I think, a gastro craft beer pub, or whatever terms they use.
Big long portmanteau words.
But they have a rotating selection of craft beers, and we've got 3 very different examples here.
Okay, so I've got the pineapple.
Yeah, that's pineapple sour. And sours are actually definitely getting a lot more attention.
So is that like a sorbet?
Well,
she's only had a sip as well.
There's a tradition particularly in Belgium and the Low Countries, for actually putting fruit in beers. That's been going on a long time.
Okay, so sour is because it has fruit in it.
Well, no, partly that, but also the yeast. They use wild yeast, which means basically it behaves unpredictably, and it often,
a bit like me.
And it often produces sharp and kind of, well, sour flavours.
Okay.
So, and there's a company in Manchester, the Jolton Brewing Company, who brew almost nothing but sour beers, and that gives you some idea of how fashionable they're becoming. But they work really well with a lot of meals.
Oh, okay.
A lot of dishes.
For instance,
pork belly.
Okay.
Or I mean, I'm interested to try a sour beer with.
I can see this with my fish.
Maybe.
Mine's gone completely black.
Don't worry about it. Come back to it. Come back to it. Take a sip of your
Jambalaya.
Jambalaya. Yes, I can see that.
Which is a very complex dish in lots of ways. It's got lots of different flavours. And something like a sour beer would actually cut through lots of
And will
flavours.
it cut through the spice and all of those sort of things,
And often what you're looking for is a balance between, you know, either strong flavours or a flavour, you know, sort of, which is a complete contrast to what you're eating.
Okay.
And those sorts of combinations tend to work very well.
So what have you got, Phil?
I'm on. I'm a big fan of Siren Brewery. This is Affogato, and it's basically, well, they call it a coffee and ice cream ale, which sounds bizarre, and trust me, it isn't. It's not a dessert.
So that's not the coffee one that we tried. Is that the sampler one that we
it is,
tried? Oh, it's a bit too strong for me.
But there's a real kind of, you know, well, it's almost like camp coffee, if you remember that. You know, that kind of slightly sweet, but. Yeah, it's in the same way as the sour is kind of, you know, has a sweetness and a, you know, will shoot through things. That would work very well with desserts as well, I think.
Okay.
It would. I'm on the Samuel Adams, a Boston lager, which you can get in, I think, a fair few places. Certainly I know you can get it in nearly all the Shepherd Neame pubs that are across the city. The Caxton in the Dover Castle spring to mind. Yeah, I've gone for the kind of lowest common denominator out of the two here. I tried the pineapple and I tried the coffee ones, and yes, they're nice for a little sip, but for a whole drink, a bit heavy going for me.
Yeah, the Sam Adams is one of the beers. I think we were one of the very first restaurants here in Brighton to stock Sam Adams, and that was, we are now going back, what,
15 years.
15 years. And we had the Sam Adams and the Boston Lager, and a different one. We had there were two Sam Adams, weren't there?
There was the Summer Ale, which was available for a short period of time, but then they stopped getting them.
Right. Yes, you are.
But Sam Adams are almost like the kind of Boddingtons of American craft beer.
Right.
Yeah,
they
are.
advertise on TV, which is not cool. On the other hand, there are some American craft brewers like Stone, who built a whole brewing complex in Berlin, who are pretending that they're kind of trendy and down with the kids, but they're just a big company like anybody else.
So it's a bit like when Budweiser and Budvar had a big falling out, and one was the beer of kings, and when it became American, it became the king of beers.
The king of beers, yeah.
So, again, darling.
Now I wanted to know, you know, when you find the beers that are a little bit, don't have many bubbles, is that because it's flat, or is that the way they want it to be?
Usually. I mean, it used to be the case that a lot of cask beers, you know, the ones that come off the hand pump, before craft beer, you know, sort of impacted on the market, you would often find beers that weren't particularly carbonated. But carbonation is increased by CO2 pressure, and keg beers are served under pressure. But I would say these days that, you know, a beer that hasn't got any bubbles at all is likely to be flat and it's off.
All right.
That, or the lines are dirty.
Or the lines are dirty. Yeah, because that's true. If there's any kind of dirt, then that takes away from the fizz.
I mean, there is a sort of tradition that southern real ale drinkers will want just a small head on their beer, and up north they want a good sort of, you know, and I've seen northern people come down and drink our, you know, for instance, Harvey's, and reject it when the head is only sort of half an inch.
And a bit like where if you go to Germany, then you get a head like, they got the heads like...
But that's all, that's very much, I mean, I loved it in
you know,
in Amsterdam.
And then when it settles down, you got that much beer.
to cut the top off the foam, I always find that amusing.
It does, and there's some places are taken to doing it here, and I suppose probably because there's the half pint line or the pint line or whatever it might be, but you can't help thinking, actually, your beer only goes to there. And the rest of it is head, your economy here, and of course you realise actually the pint level is only to...
Well, yeah, but also now, I mean, this is unusual, but most craft beer bars have got glasses that have got clear markings on, and they will have. I mean, we could probably have had a third here to beer.
Oh, really?
And that's a craft thing, and.
So is that those smaller glasses?
Yeah, when you're using hand pumps, there tends to be much more wastage, you know, because of the way they operate. But a keg pump, you know, is run on electricity, you know, so there's less danger of wastage. So, you know, that's one of the things that you do tend to notice.
Ooh, we're back.
You can get a third, you can get a half, you can get a schooner, which is 2/3.
Is that a bigger one? The schooners, are those long, skinny ones? Oh, a schooner's less than a pint?
A schooner's less than a pint, it's 2/3 of a pint.
Oh, okay.
And that's, I mean, when I go into, you know, most craft beer bars, that's what I tend to have. I won't have a pint.
Is the price cheaper than a pint?
Oh, yeah.
It is? Yeah. Okay, so it's not just the type of beer.
Pro rata, the pint will be the cheapest. Pro rata.
Yeah.
But... You know, if you don't want a full pint, especially if it's a strong beer.
Okay.
You know, if you're starting off with a beer that's 6%, if you have a pint of it, well, if you have 2 pints with them, that's it. That's largely a day done. You're going to be a bit wobbly, a bit of a mess. And you think, well, I haven't even had that. So you think at the very least you can have three schooners will be the same as 2 pints. So at the very least you can actually have a bigger variety.
You can have a variety.
And that's what I tend to do.
And it seems to take you through the evening quicker.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So from the last pub, we've walked 15 minutes. And have we arrived?
There, this is the Bison Craft House.
Okay, so let me zoom in on that name. Alright. Tell us a little bit before we go in.
Yeah, Bison are an interesting success story. They started out in East Street. They opened a bottle shop 5 or 6 years ago. But they had ambitions for more. And they did spend, they actually invented a crowdfunding campaign to take over an old hotel on the seafront. But they basically got let down and it never happened. So they moved their attention to Hove and picked this place. And I think the positioning couldn't be better. It's right by Palmyra Square. It's about as central as Hove can get. And it's been a huge success. The second bar in North Street, in Brighton, North Road I should say, by the Old Steam, which is on 3 floors. They actually serve food and they've got a beer pairing menu.
The menu board there, you can see they've got prices for a third, half, 2/3 a pint, and a growler.
And what's a growler? Is that bigger or smaller?
That'd be bigger.
Yeah? So,
Explain a growler.
yeah, because you got a third of a pint, half a pint, 2/3 pint, a pint, and what's a growler?
Is it 3 pints? 3.5. Okay.
Wow. So that's a party beer.
Yeah.
Let's just see a sort of sour with juniper. Apart from 69 right.
Okay, so we're getting ready to leave this pub, and what is this one called? It's not a pub. It's
the Bison Craft House is the name of it. And as I say, they've now opened a venue in the North Lane in Brighton as well. So the Bison story goes on.
Okay, so let's head off to the last one, and guess what? Look at them, they're both still standing. Okay, we're heading towards our final stop, although this may not be the definitive one because we're trying to talk them into adding one with some food.
Nah,
you know me, I need food.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yes, it is.
If only someone could open up a soul food and craft beer
Place. Yeah, that would be nice.
That's all it'll be.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's going to register high on the hipster scale.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And we'll have that
Yes.
coffee as well, yeah.
Beer and wings.
Yes.
And ribs.
Yes. But only Eagles wings. We're not going to have anything as common as chicken.
Eagle wings. So he wants a big wing.
No, that's a football reference, actually.
That's Philadelphia.
No, I was just thinking, let's lose the Eagles.
Yeah.
So what do we have? So this is the one we're going into, the Brunswick now.
Yeah.
So walk ahead. And so what do we haven't had?
Okay, stout.
Oh, okay.
Or dark beer of any sort.
So you haven't done
Stout,
one.
here I am.
There it
Hey,
is.
now, that's a beer.
Is that why you screen that?
Yeah, you just about covered the whole
It
screen.
needs to be.
You covered it. Wow, everybody's out.
Oh, well, that's the thing. Yeah. They got blown. They probably were standing by the bar. Blown out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's head on in. Into the Brunswick. I like this pub. This is where you get some really good. You get some really good music here.
And I do not fancy going out to win
Look at that. Look at that. Look, let's get to see.
I think the first time I
Very
ever came
choppy.
into Brunswick was for the bin quiz. About 5 minutes.
So what do we have here, Phil?
So this is Brighton Beer, who brew in the Hand in Ham up in Kempton. It's their Fat Boy Stout.
Stout.
And this is what they call Wonder Beyond Great Drift Milk Stout.
Okay,
Which I
great.
really like. This is a really sharp, kind of dry stout.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Well, as you can see, we're no longer on the beer tour, but I've got some exciting news to tell you. Phil has finally sorted it all out, and I'm going to read it to you. His first craft beer tour is going to be on Saturday, the 8th of September, 2018, okay? Starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it goes into 5. Now, the meeting place, the location, we're going to meet up at the Hove Railway Station, okay? And that's in Hove, BN3, 3RX. Now, I'm just going to read you a little bit about what he said, his advertisement. He says, "Let Goatee Phil take you on a beery wander through the streets of Hove as he reflects on the changes in the town and its bar scene. We will visit 5, not 4, 5 different bars and sample loads of different brews. And guess what? You're even going to get fed. At the halfway point of the tour, we've got some soulful snacks prepared by moi. Yes, me, Momma Cherri. I'm going to be cooking for this tour, and we're going to try and pair different craft beers to the foods that I cook. Alright? So, now don't forget, we're going to be meeting at the entrance of Hove Railway Station, and it finishes on Holland Road, which is just a short walk away from the seafront. So please, people, book the tickets. There's very limited spaces, but I really want it to be a sellout. So all of you folks over here in the UK, let's support the mama by supporting her husband. Please! Bye-bye.